I'm Smita from the blog Smiling Colors, and in today's video, I will be showing you how I make a handmade journal. A journal like this can be a notebook for you to jot down your ideas or notes. You can personalize these with your name or make these as gifts for your friends and kids' teachers. Before I make the actual journal books, I'm going to first show how I created these gold and silver words. I absolutely love how they turned out. I have some cream cardstock and I've gone ahead and doodled some banner shapes here. I'm using an embossed gloss today. This is made by Clear Snap and comes with a dauber of its own. But I want to do some hand lettering today, so I'm using a fine brush instead. I'm dipping the brush into the embossed gloss and writing my word in the banner here. The liquid is clear, so I know you can't really see what I've written in the video. But in real life, you can actually see how the letters look at this stage. I've written the word notes, and you can kind of see it here, but anyways, you will see it clearly in a few minutes. Now I'm going to add the embossing powder. This is a beautiful gold sparkle embossing powder, and I'm going to pour it over the word generously and then remove the excess. I'm using a heat gun to melt the embossing powder. I keep moving my heat gun so that the paper is heated evenly, and here you can see how shiny this embossing powder looks. Here is another example. This time I wrote the word ideas and I used the silver sparkle embossing powder. And I will leave a list of all the supplies used in the description box below. Melting embossing powder is one of my favorite crafty things to do. There is something just so satisfying watching that powder turn into liquid. Now just go ahead and trim out the banner with a sharp pair of scissors, making sure to cut carefully just within the banner line that we've drawn. We don't want to see the gray outline that has been doodled. I like to add notches to the end of the banners. It just makes everything look so much prettier. Like I mentioned in the intro before, you can personalize these with your name or your recipient's name too, and personalized gifts are always such a thoughtful gift. Now let's start making the actual journal book. Here I have the papers for the inside of the journal. I've chosen to make the inside pages colorful, and I have cream, light pink, pink, and a darker pink shade. These are just regular cardstock sheets that measure 8.5 by 11 inches. Now I want to trim this in half, and to do so I have a trimmer out, and I will be cutting the paper in half at the 5.5 inch mark. I have 3 sheets of cardstock together here, and I will hold it in place and run the trimmer back and forth a few times till I am able to separate the paper. By trimming the 3 sheets of cardstock together you get a neat edge here for your journal pages. Now I'm just repeating this with all of the other colors. So at the end I will have 6 journal pages from each color, and each page will measure 5.5 by 8.5 inches in size. And the stack of pages here make for a good journal. Now I need to punch holes into the paper along the spine. I'm using a 3-hole punch, but my paper is small, so I'll be able to punch only 2 holes here. Insert the paper into the 3-hole punch with the paper resting along the bottom edge and punch once. This creates the 2 holes that we see here. Flip the paper over and place it in the exact same position again and punch. This creates 2 more holes, and we get the 4 holes needed for the binding. Then repeat this with all of the other color pages. I was able to punch 2 to 3 sheets of cardstock at once, so this goes quickly. Now to make the journal cover. I have a larger cardstock. This one is 12 by 12 inches, but still pink in color. First I'm going to trim it to be 8.5 inches wide. I then fold it lightly and place my pages inside to determine how thick the spine of the journal might be. It looks like I have about 1/2 inch of excess paper, so I'm going to trim that off here. Now to double check that the cover lines up well all around. Okay, it's looking neat all around and I'm happy. Now at the same time I also went ahead and created another journal. This one has a blue color cover and the inside pages are 4 different shades of blue. Now it's time to create the binding. I'm going to show the binding on the pink journal. I have the inside pages held together with some binding clips here and clip the back cover to the bulk of the inside pages. I really don't want to punch holes on the outside cover of the journal. So instead I'm going to pierce tiny needle holes to match the inside pages. Now I repeat the same process for the front cover. I clip the pages to the cover and use a needle to just pierce holes in the center of each punched hole. Now this is the binding design I'm going to be creating. The book feels really nice and you can open the pages and the spine is strong. I'm going to keep the blue journal here on the side while I bind the pink one. This way I hope you'll have a better idea of how the binding is coming along. Insert the needle from the back and through the pages and the front cover. Leave about 4 to 5 inches and then pull the needle all the way through. Now insert the needle into the second hole from the front cover and then create a loop here. Insert the needle through the third hole from the back cover and then again create that extra loop. Insert the needle through the last hole from the front cover and then again create an extra loop there. Now your needle should be at the back of the book and bring it to the first hole and create an extra loop there. Before tying the binding off, make sure you like the tension of the binding and how your pages are flipping. Tie a knot at the back and trim off the excess twine. And we're done. The journal is ready. I love how simplistic this looks and I absolutely love the ombre pages inside. Now you can leave these journals as is or go ahead and decorate the front covers a little bit more. I have a few different options for you. You can just add a name banner or simply add a small little banner that says ideas. I love how pretty the gold and silver embossing turned out here. You could also just say notes or maybe just add a label here so the recipient could write whatever they wanted. If you're not sure about lettering, just go ahead and add alphabet stickers instead. What I finally chose to do here was add the banner along with some pretty die-cut flowers. I have a bonus video for you showing how I created these pretty painted flowers and they are super simple to make. Click on the little eye on the right hand corner here to watch that video or find a link to that video in the description box below. To finish off these journals, I basically layered a few flowers and then placed the banner on top and adhered everything in place. I took more than a few minutes to arrange and rearrange the flowers. I did that multiple times and finally this is how the journals turned out. I love the pink color, I love the book binding, and I love how the whole book makes me want to go and write down my ideas and notes. You might also be interested in a previous tutorial of mine in which I make a handmade book. I'll leave a link to that video here and below in the description box as well. Thank you so much for spending some crafty time with me today. To see more photos and a list of supplies used to make these handmade journals, make sure you stop by my blog today, smilingcolors.com. I'm part of a blog hop with many more handmade gifts ideas for the holiday season and lots of great prizes to win. I hope to see you there and I hope you have an awesome day.